All right, Madam Burnett.
I'm Jack Patrick.
Caleb Brown.
All right, so why did you choose your carrier/phone?
So I chose Verizon mostly because the unlimited text and talk plan, and then I have a family plan, so based off of what they offer for that, they offer like 24 gigs plus 2 gigabytes per line.
Mm-hmm.
Price is about on par with the industry, about $110 a month. And then pretty much the major factor was that pretty much the best 4G LTE coverage by far in the U.S. It's extremely reliable with good customer service.
All right, and what phone do you use?
I have an iPhone.
Okay, and why did you choose an iPhone over anything else on the market?
I chose the iPhone, pretty much easy to use, well-supported community. Something goes wrong, everyone has one, so if something goes wrong, I would usually ask someone else.
Right.
Lots of apps in the App Store, and I've always had an iPhone, had a bad experience with my Android, so won't go back.
What about you?
For my carrier, I've had T-Mobile. Mostly that is just from family standpoint. I mean, that's just what they chose, so that's just pretty much what I stuck to. I did notice though, T-Mobile back in the day wasn't as reliable, but I guess over the year they've definitely
They're slowly getting a lot better.
Yeah. So to me, from a financial standpoint, if it's just slightly less good to the point where I don't notice it doesn't affect me, then I don't want to sit there and pay all this extra money when I can have almost absolutely. And as far as my phone, I have the Galaxy Note 5, which is I like using it mainly because it has a lot of Microsoft products. You can access like your Word, PowerPoint, access all that stuff, which makes it really good for school and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really been big on the whole iPhone thing. I do like certain aspects of the iPhone, but I just feel like I gravitated more towards the, I guess, Samsung and Galaxy side of things. So.
Why did you choose the carrier phone you have?
So I also have T-Mobile, and I didn't really have any choice of which carrier it is. It's all right. It's gotten, like you said, it's gotten a lot better. It used to be a lot worse. Where I live, coverage wasn't always great because I'm not necessarily in like a huge town, but now we see towns like Atlanta. Whenever I visit Atlanta, the data there, the data speeds are like faster than my home internet.
Do you get like pretty much full service everywhere in Atlanta too?
Yeah,
for the most part?
And so a bigger. For the most part, we haven't had a lot of problems, but the only problems that we have had, we kind of said that we weren't getting great service at home, and they sent us like a signal booster for free. So that's good. That said, customer service is pretty good. And a big plus with T-Mobile is you get to stream all the music services for free. And that helps out.
It's unlimited everything too, like the data, so you don't have to worry about going over and stuff like that.
And so Spotify and stuff is taking over all my music. I very rarely use iTunes or anything like that anymore, or Pandora. And being a student, you get
a discount.
Spotify half off. Yeah. But as far as why we chose T-Mobile, we've been with them for a really long time, and we have 6 people in our family. Yep. So for us, the cheaper plan is probably going to be the best, just because we couldn't have Verizon and pay, I don't know how much more for that whole family plan. Or we have T-Mobile, everybody's there. So it's gotten a lot better, but we basically have been with them for a while, and that's why we're still with them, because they've gotten a lot better.
Have you tried any other, like either of y'all tried other service providers before? Or
I've always had T-Mobile.
I had Verizon like way back when I was younger, so I couldn't really tell you, from that standpoint. But for the most part, I've been T-Mobile.
Always had Verizon, and it was great when it was unlimited data, and they changed the whole got rid of unlimited data plans. And we strongly considered switching AT&T or T-Mobile, but just due to the reliability of the service.
What do y'all think about T-Mobile's whole thing with now there aren't any contracts, you just pay for the phone?
Yeah,
and you're not kind of
it's kind of like
locked in like Verizon.
Yeah. Well, the way they do it is like when you buy the phone, that's technically like your monthly payment, because like I guess you can buy the phone like right out, but I know like I did when I got this newer phone, like you can pay it monthly, so it's kind of equivalent to like paying your bill.
Right.
But I mean, after you pay that off, then I guess that's
a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
I think mostly the reasons why we chose what we chose comes down to like where we rank. certain things that the carriers offer.
Okay.
So
It's
like
personal preference.
yeah, so it's like whether you think you want the best coverage or you want the cheapest cost or the best reliability or best service or
Well, 'cause
what
some
they
Or
people-
stream for free or anything
Yeah.
like that we were talking
you
about.
might value
Yeah.
cost better. I value service and
Right.
coverage.
Yeah.
Um,
Because
I
I mean,
think
some
that's
people.
the main factor in why people choose what they choose is how they
But-
rank their.
And
That's
in
right.
addition to that, we're seeing kind of because technology is getting so advanced now,
Mm-hmm.
the playing field is starting to level.
Yeah.
And so companies like T-Mobile, where traditionally their coverage was awful,
Mm-hmm.
but now they're offering no contracts and free streaming and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even with that, and in addition to their their service being, I guess, broader and
Mhm.
faster, we're starting to see the playing fields level. So now it's becoming what can the company do for you, and not so much
And now,
Yeah.
and now the
not
companies
so
are
much.
making-
These are your options. Choose from.
the companies realized a lot of people didn't change their service just because the issues related with the contracts and getting rid of your contract and paying an extra fee for it and whatnot. But now they made it easier with the no contract policy and all that stuff.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What would you guys say is like your number one, if in determining a carrier plan? What is your number one factor? Like, is it cost, coverage, service?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, obviously, you don't want to pay something ridiculously over the top, but then you want to have something that's just good enough for you. You know what I'm saying?
Good
Like,
balance and cost.
yeah, because I mean, like, some people may not need as much data as others, so I don't want to pay, like, if all they have is this data plan and this data plan only, and I'm not going to use it, why should I pay that extra?
Right.
So you just kind of want that balance between, how much you use and price, cost efficiency, I guess.
I think it's also geologically focused
Definitely.
and influenced on your decision. Like I said, I'm from not necessarily a big town,
Mhm.
and so a lot of carriers don't do too well in service and stuff.
There's more of a gap between the carriers.
Right.
Yeah.
And so in that aspect, I would probably, if it was up to me and I was paying for my own phone and stuff,
Mhm.
I'd probably end up choosing AT&T or Verizon if I was living there still, because their coverage is so much better than anything else.
Yeah.
But in a bigger city, I mean, it doesn't matter who you have; you're going to have fantastic coverage, and that's just all based on population numbers. And so, in a bigger city, it doesn't really matter about coverage as much as price,
Mhm.
and then it's vice versa in a smaller city where coverage is limited.
And then, what influences do you guys think impacted your decision for your carrier and your phone? It's like situational influences.
So
It's not so much. I don't think it's so much of a physical, like situational, like in your environment that does it so much. But on a purchase reason, probably just usually do for the need. You have to have a carrier, and wherever you rank, what factors that carrier offers, that's why you do what you do.
Your choice, yeah.
Um,
Depends on what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. And then psychologically, like lifestyles, brand preference, I think is huge.
yeah, I think I pay attention to T-Mobile a little bit more because that's who my provider is. But you definitely see more of like a trendy aspect of T-Mobile's marketing compared to everybody else. You see like break out of your coverage, like be free, and like all those kinds of like marketing stuff. And
Exactly.
you see all the bright colors and
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of thing. Where Verizon or Sprinter, I can't remember whose it was, but they did that commercial where they had those balls rolling into like a pit or something.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, this is like our coverage, and this is T-Mobile's, and
Was
it's
it-
like
Oh,
if you have
was it
T-Mobile,
very
AT&T?
cutthroat.
Was it
Yeah.
AT&T?
Very cutthroat.
it might have been, but a lot of companies other than T-Mobile have very strategic marketing and
Mhm.
based on data and why you should choose them. And T-Mobile's basically trying to break the rules of carriers. And
Yeah.
I think it is.
we offer you the most freedom.
I think it is so cutthroat just because people don't really want to change their provider. They know that what one provider works well for them, why change?
I think
That's
yeah.
part of the brand loyalty, preference for that brand.
And
just that works, stick with it.
Right, and I also think the phone industry is almost like a banking industry,
Mm-hmm.
where when you start out with who you have, it has to take
A lot.
To make
very
you leave, yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're going to stay with that.
Well,
Company, no
also
matter what.
from the company standpoint, they do the same thing. Like if you've been with them for so long, they try getting you to stay with the company. They don't want you to leave. So a lot of times they'll offer you certain like benefits in addition to what you have now in order to keep you. So that goes both ways. Like you said, you don't want to leave your provider either.
Right.
Mhm. And I think probably the biggest influence on why we choose is social. Just and for most people, it's what
Yeah.
your family did. It's what you've always done. You're gonna stay with it.
Plus,
And
with,
then
with,
as far
with the
as-
whole iPhone, I feel
Especially with
like
iPhones,
yeah.
just because everyone uses iMessage. It's, in my opinion, superior, but I'm sure other people think
Right.
differently.
Yeah.
Well, I used to have an Android. It's still recording. The screen just went off. I used to have Android phones. I went through 2 or 3 of them, and then I finally got an iPhone. And I was a lot happier with my iPhone just because everything seems a lot more simple.
Yep.
In iMessage, and like that's the reason why we have our phones is to communicate with people. And since everybody basically texts now, not many people call and say, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" You say, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" And so, from that aspect, we use texting a lot more than calling than anything else. And like you said, iMessage is very good. And so that kind of was a huge impact on me is the simplicity and iMessage and those together. There are a few things I don't like about the iPhone. You don't have like the freedom of setting up your phone like you do with Android. How you can basically change it to anything.
It's not set up so much for a tech person. It's set up for an everyday.
An average consumer.
Android's set up for a relatively specialized market.
Right.
Yeah.
But either can fulfill the I guess mass of people. It's just personal preference.
It's just like Mac and Windows.
Right.
Also, I was thinking another thing that affected a lot of people's probably choice of provider was too when the iPhone first came out, Verizon was really the only person that had it. I guess, and then AT&T slowly, and then slower on down the line.
With
T-Mobile. Yeah. So back in the day, like if you wanted, a lot of people would go to Verizon just to get the iPhone.
Right.
That was
And
a
then
big push for Verizon.
Yeah. And then now that everybody has it, it becomes a matter of
It's
it goes back to the cost and everything.
What can
Nowadays,
this company do for me now
Yeah.
since everything's available?
And nowadays, the carriers, everyone has the same stuff. So it's just a matter of how can you separate yourself from the competition.
Does anybody have anything more to add?
I don't think so.
That's pretty much it.
All right. And like I said, I'm Jack Patrick,
I'm Adam Burnett.
Caleb Brown.
and that was our project.
Good.
All right.
I think we might have went over 11. Pretty close.
12 minutes.